Hello and welcome to Sam's Movies, and today, let's talk about basketball movies. Oh shit!
I mean, seriously, they are everywhere. Most are just cash-ins like Space Jam, and these are the films that are just made by money whore executives that have clearly based their movie's success on statistics, and they don't know what kids actually like, and they really have no idea of how to make a good movie, and they just focus on making wheelbarrows of money. And yeah, that basically, in a nutshell, is Like Mike. It really is a strange yet somewhat entertaining basketball movie that's mainly aimed at kids. So today, we're gonna look at Like Mike and see why it's not as terrible as some of the other basketball movies, but it's not as good as it could have been. Get ready for that nerdy kid who's now really buff, and that other kid who's now a rapper, and, right. Brenda Song. Yeah. Run Like Mike! So basically I'm going to do a kind of different review today, as this movie is so straightforward, and it'll just be another 10 minutes on the ticker if I run through the whole film from start to finish. So, let's get into it. The story basically revolves around an orphan named Calvin Cambridge, who gets tickets to a basketball game before he gets some lucky sneakers donated to him that just so happen to be formerly owned by, you guessed it, Michael Jordan. Lightning strikes the sneakers when they are thrown onto the power lines by the orphanage bully, and suddenly they become magic. So naturally, when the kid goes to the basketball game, just out of pure luck, he gets the chance to go one-on-one with a fictional basketballer. And of course, he's wearing the sneakers. And is it just me, or am I the only one who thinks that the fictional basketballer was put in because Michael Jordan couldn't be in the movie himself? Strange. Anyway, so he beats the basketball in the one-on-one after flying towards the goals. What?
No, this isn't an incredibly unlikely story. This actually would happen.
And then suddenly he's signed to the NBA just like that. Fast! The strange part is that Eugene Levy's character actually indicates that it's about making money.
This is about making money. We've got to have money.
There! Finally, a running joke for the show. The best I can do!
Calvin starts winning all the games for the team and of course becomes a huge star. And then we get the sequences with the big star of the team, Tracy Reynolds, and Calvin sort of bonding, but Tracy doesn't initially like him. It's strange. The villain of the movie is, strangely enough, Crispin Glover from Back to the Future, who does everything in his power to stop Calvin from being adopted so he can continue to profit out of his success.
You leave her alone.
I sometimes feel like this movie's a fan fiction, that if George McFly never married Lorraine, and Biff kept bullying him, and Biff married Lorraine, and this is what George McFly turned out as. Either way, it's some pretty creepy shit.
So we just kind of get Calvin at Tracy's home with them both throwing paint all over each other, and then Jonathan Lipnicki coming along, and then he gets covered in paint. What?
They're just filling up 1 hour and 30 minutes of anything they can squeeze in, which is just a complete waste. Give us a proper story, you damn movie!
So the movie, after going through plot problems like the team losing, eventually reaches its climax with Calvin getting Michael Jordan's sneakers back after they were stolen by Crispin Glover.
I'm gonna get you, Calvin! I'm gonna get you!
This my shit. All the girls stomp your feet like this.
Excuse me.
He gets to the game eventually after avoiding people trying to stop him because McFly bet on another team and then had the game fixed or some shit, so these guys are trying to stop him. It doesn't matter! But just as Calvin gets into his stadium, he stops by McFly, oh no, standing there, and the camera zooms in on him while he delivers his evil line.
Your game is over.
Wrecked.
My game's just beginning.
It's showtime.
Calvin rams into him with his scooter and gets in the stadium just in time for the big game, and of course his sneakers tear apart.
What's the matter?
I'm done, Trace.
What do you mean?
It really wasn't me that was playing. It was the sneakers. Tracy, the sneakers were magic. Now they're gone.
But just because the magic was inside him all along, he passes the ball to Tracy just in time for him to shoot the winning goal and the team make the playoffs. So the movie's nearly over, but just as Calvin's shooting some hoops, Tracy comes back and offers Calvin and Jonathan Lipnicki's character, for some reason, to be his sons.
Mark, we're going home. Here.
He gives Lipnicki a lifetime gym membership, and the movie ends.
Phew, thank God I got through that one fast. I just can't stand basketball movie cash-ins. I just can't stand basketball movie cash-ins.
But I mean, this one wasn't that bad. It's worth a watch even. In fact, if you're in the mood, go out and watch it. But what actually does annoy me though is Like Mike was made for money, as every other basketball movie, including this one, is made for money, and that just boils my potatoes.
This has been Sam's Movies and I suffer for your entertainment. Ow.
They're playing basketball. We love that basketball. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball.
Your game is over.